Sabaha everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the Chromecast Ultra. Here it is. It was announced earlier this year and we're finally able to pick it up right now directly from the Google Play Store. Some of the main benefits, of course, that we've been looking for from Chromecast is the ability to stream at 4K. And now we have it. Let's check it out. Going through the unboxing real quick, this is the new Chromecast Ultra premium TV streaming device by Google, 4K HDR capable, and of course we have the Google logo. Here's a list of some of the stuff that you can actually use it with currently. Now, none of these are brand new other than the fact that this is basically the list that we've been able to use with the existing lineup of Chromecasts. So if you have the 2015 model of the Chromecast, this is the 1080p version with the new redesigned cable and magnetic clip. Or if you have the original Chromecast from 2013, most of these will still work, the resolution and the playback will differ, but overall the experience is the same. What we're getting here really is the 4K capability and the ability to support Ethernet. Google gives us a quick comparison between last year, the 2015 model, and the 2016 model. So we have 4K Ultra HD and HDR compatible now with the new device up to 1080p, which was last year's best feature. Ultra fast load times, so we have even faster load times than what we had last year. Wi-Fi and Ethernet, that's something new, and I'll show you guys how we interface with the Ethernet on this one. And then Wi-Fi only for last year's model. Both models support surround sound support, screen mirroring, and Android devices and laptops, Android devices, iPhone, iPads, Mac, Windows, and Chromebooks. Now the design did change a little bit from last year. I'll get a chance to show that to you guys. Let's go ahead and take it out. And overall, we're still looking at the same design aesthetic. Cable coming out of the unit itself, magnetic clips to the back. We did switch over to a red cable, so this is an HDMI cable that is red tipped. The reason I mentioned this is last year's model was black, or the golden one that normally we see. Quick comparison between last year and this year's model. The new one is a little bit wider and it has only the G on it. The old one has pretty much the same circle with just the Chromecast, or I guess Chrome's initials right in the middle. Now we just have G for Google. But as far as thickness, we are looking at a bigger unit. They did actually end up going bigger, I guess, to fit in more hardware to be able to support the 4K capability. And on the bottom, same thing, not that much, just information. Cable length is pretty much the same. We didn't really get any longer cables, although if I really compare them, yep, exactly the same. And again, magnetic at the bottom, so they both magnetically clip. The other thing that we still have on the bottom here is the connection for the micro USB cable. This is where our power is going to come in, and then the ability to initiate pair, and then a small, what looks like to be a small LED, yes, small LED light, and we'll check that out. Put this on the side. Again, this is still very functional. The only limitation here is that we're only up to 1080p, where now we're able to go up to 4K. Taking out the box, instruction, plug it in, and then you'll notice here that that's what it interfaces with the Ethernet cable, and just some basic instructions. It is compatible with Android and iOS as long as you download the application directly from the Play Store or the App Store. And here is our power brick. It's a single piece power brick. We no longer have the ability of using a USB, just a regular USB cable. One of the main benefits here, other than the fact that it has the G logo here, is now we have an Ethernet port. If you have Ethernet, and if everybody knows, when you're trying to stream 4K, you want the fastest connection possible to your device. Ethernet is by far faster and way more reliable than Wi-Fi. So if you have that capability, this will give you a much better playback experience. When I connected it to my monitor right behind me, I noticed that the first thing that it gave me is an error message telling me that I'm using a non-standard charger, which means I'm not using the included USB charger. And you'll notice that right there, right under the welcome message, it says non-standard charger connected. Please connect the one included in the box. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it over right now. And now, as soon as I switched it over to a standard charger, the one that came with it, it switched over to 4K. Initially, it started up with 1080p, so please be aware that if you're connecting a non-standard charger, you may not be able to even turn on the 4K functionality on this unit. Next thing we're going to do is set up the application. So on your device, go ahead and download the Home application. We no longer need to use the Chromecast application that's been replaced with Home. This is the same application we use to set up either Google Home or any of the other interfaces. The main thing that you want to make sure, obviously, here is this will connect or aggregate all the different media sources on your device. Went ahead and turned it on to devices here on my device, and it's looking for Chromecast Ultra 1922. On the main screen, I can see on the bottom left that it says Chromecast Ultra. I'm going to say yes. Then it says Chromecast Ultra found. I'm going to say continue, and it's going to go through and take us through the setup process. Give it a few seconds. It says connecting to Ultra. It's giving me a confirmation code on the screen, which is X7B3. I'll wait for it to show up on my device. Successfully connected to Chromecast Ultra. So now they're talking to each other and I can see the message directly here on my phone to the screen, and I can go ahead and say I see the message. I'm going to have it connected to the same network. Now by default it already knows which network I'm connected to, and it's going to just push that information over without even me putting in that password one more time. So it's switching over by 3840 by 2160 at 30 Hertz. And it is running via HDMI on my monitor. So we are running already in native 4K, even just at the setup option. We'll go through, just flickering a couple of times, fetching update. So as usual, there's always an update whenever the Chromecast is installed, so we're going to give it a few seconds for it to finish. Now it took a few seconds for it to finish, but the update did go through. It restarted. It did rename my network directly into TK 4K, and it does have guest mode open. I'm going to say continue, and it's going to ask me to sign into my Google account. I'm just going to say yes and follow through. So we're now turned on. This is just the default splash screen. It is connected to the network and it's ready. I was connected, or I'm trying to test it out with YouTube. The main thing you can do from the device, if you're using Chrome, you can go directly into the unit itself and you can just basically go into your devices, and now you can find out different things you can do to it. Or the better yet option is that if, let's say, you want to go into your media or your streaming application, you can connect directly to the Chromecast. So now I'm trying to connect John Oliver right now. I'll just go ahead and say yes. I can control the audio. Now if you notice, the load time was a lot faster. And you can skip forward. Works very nice. The other thing I wanted to test out real quick. Now I know John Oliver's video is not in 4K. I'm going to go ahead and broadcast a Sony 4K demo. This is just called Another World. I like to use it as my standard demo because it just gives you that really nice experience of how the color representation is supposed to be on the monitor. Last couple of things I wanted to show you guys real quick with the unit itself. The main benefit, of course, this is the normal resting screen. You can go directly into the device and you can go under devices here, and then under cast, audio and screen, it's going to find the device. I'll connect to it and it'll go ahead and broadcast directly to the screen. It's going to give you a straight mirror of what your device is doing. You can change the orientation and it'll just adjust to your device. So let's go ahead and swipe up. Here's the launcher. You are able to launch basically YouTube, any other application, and then just basically cast from there. The main benefit, of course, here is that just to mirror what you have. So if you have images on your device and you want to be able to look at them, such as some Halloween pictures that you took of your kid, maybe when everybody else was going, this is very nice, very easy to share. The main benefit, of course, is when you're able to broadcast or cast to it in 4K. So if I want to disconnect, I'll just disconnect from my device. As you see, it's live. And I'm going to go straight down directly to my YouTube application, and I'm going to go here, go cast. And the video playback is right there. Like you notice, we can do jumping right away. I mean, it's almost instantaneous. This is ridiculous. You know, and then we can jump videos to the next video. This is World Paradises in 4K. Again, you can see the load time on this. I'm actually doing it live and it's just jumping straight. We're able to control the volume straight from the unit. Definitely very nice. Last thing we're going to do is this, I'm using my S7 Edge. I'm going to cast my screen and we're going to go ahead and do a quick demo, just a quick game, just to show the latency and if there is any latency in the gameplay. I'm going to play a game called Alone. I'm going to switch over. You guys should be able to hear it. And I'm going to, well, let's go ahead and we'll play it in real time. So at the end of the day, the setup is pretty simple. Connect it, use the original cable if you want to get 4K. If you use another cable, you're probably going to be stuck to 1080p. Just be aware of that. The other thing as far as the setup, it uses Android or iOS. So if you have an Apple device or an Android, an iPad, a laptop, it will cast to this and you can just go through and set it up and use the device. By default, when I connected the original cable with it, the power charger that came with it, it went up to 4K at 30 Hertz. Now, I think that's the limitation of HDMI, at least for my monitor, so you may be able to get a little bit more out of yours. But I'm very happy with 4K right out of the box and easy to set up. Casting to it is again very, very simple. We're no longer using the Chromecast application as Google has traveled or navigated towards the Home application. It encompasses all of their new home automation based IoT, the Internet of Things that they're trying to push right now. Google Home, of course, is compatible with this. You can actually cast to it. I did the unboxing and initial impression of Google Home. I'll give you guys a link in the description below. It's very easy. You command it, it will cast to this, as this is a Chromecast at the end of the day. It's a little bit bigger physically than last year's model, but not enough to basically even be an eyesore, as this is going to be plugged into the back of your monitor. You'll never really see it again once you connect it. And that's the beauty of it. It's something that you don't need to look at, but will make your TV or your monitor much, much smarter. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think of the Chromecast Ultra? Are you really excited about it? Other than the fact that you can cast things to it, this is very different than the other Android boxes that I've reviewed for you guys here, especially with the Xiaomi MI Box, because this does not have an interface on its own. It doesn't stand on its own. And for the price point of about $70, which is a little bit, almost like double the price of what it used to be last year, it was $35 for the standard 1080p model. Now with the 4K, we're up to $70, almost double, but you are getting a lot better experience, much faster load time. Again, Ethernet support. This is something that we didn't have at all in the past. So again, thank you very much. Like and subscribe as usual. I'll see you guys in the next video.